So today Intrepid Explorers is going to meet Hugo and Ross Turner, two twins that are going to go to Greenland for an expedition to raise funds for spinal research. So, can I call you twins?
You can indeed.
Thank you. How do you feel about going into the expedition together as twins? I know you've done this before, but this time there's also a competition side to it because you're wearing different kit. How does it feel? Do you think it's going to make any difference in terms of help you can get from each other, even just mentally help?
On the Atlantic, it was incredibly tough. The seas were horrible, so actually, being together was, a huge help. We didn't fall out at all, and hence why we're doing another expedition. But, when you are together in harsh environments, it does make you stronger.
I think the competition aspect of the old and new isn't really going to play. We obviously like challenging each other and pushing each other hard, but whoever has the old kit is most likely going to be the slowest because obviously it's heavier, it's far denser material. So I think the expedition will revolve around the pace of the slowest person, which is probably going to be the person wearing the old. So in that case it won't be a race as such, but it'll definitely be a different dynamic.
Why did you decide to undertake another challenge after crossing the Atlantic just a couple of years ago?
We wanted to do another trip. You're in the middle of the Atlantic and you just get completely absorbed in doing these massive expeditions, and it's very life-changing. And so when you come back to normal life, you think, what can we do next? And Greenland was an obvious choice.
What do you mean by obvious choice? Why did you choose Greenland?
Well, Greenland, financially, as it's a charity project, is far cheaper than the likes of the North Pole or Antarctica, for instance. So, this is a charity project. It's all for spinal research. So all money is raised will go to the charity. And if you're doing the North Pole, Antarctica, you're looking at six figures, whereas Greenland is far less than that.
Was the financial issue the only reason why you chose Greenland, or was there any influence from Shackleton and his expedition in Antarctica? Because I know that one of you is going to wear the same kit that he used, so maybe there's something connected to it?
So apart from the obvious choice of choosing Greenland was as far away from the ocean as possible when we rode 2 years ago, it also coincides with Shackleton's 100th anniversary of his trans-Antarctic expedition, and from children we grew up hearing about his exploits down in Antarctica. And it seemed a fantastic opportunity, especially being his 100th anniversary, to see how hard it was to be an explorer back then, to now take into consideration King's College London's research they're going to do on us, and also see the materials and clothing we are going to wear, see how they compare.
So, because you mentioned kit, can you please explain what differences there are between modern and old equipment and what difficulties you may encounter using the old kit?
So the difficulties we're going to have with the old and modern kit, it's going to be, I think, foremost, it's going to be weight. Hopefully I'm going to be pulling all the old kit. So I'm going to have a wooden pulk, wooden skis, bamboo poles, all of the extra clothing, whereas Hugo is going to have state-of-the-art modern, very light materials like skis, like pulk. I think for me, if I'm going to be wearing the old kit, it's going to be more about sweating in the old kit. There's going to be a big issue with whoever wears the old kit to keep themselves as healthy as possible and to take away any moisture exerted from exercise away from the skin, because obviously in those polar regions it's going to freeze to your skin and that's where you're going to have big problems.
So because the kit is going to influence how you're going to cope with the weather and the conditions in Greenland, are you training in different ways to prepare these two different experiences you're going to have?
So there's not a huge amount of difference in terms of training in preparation for this. One of us will be in the old, one of us is going to be in the new. In terms of training going forward, we are exactly the same. We're doing exactly the same gym workouts and pulling tyres around London. So we go into the expedition exactly the same. So when we come out the other side, it will really show the difference in performance of the old and new kit.
Mm-hmm. Are you training in the same way also to provide better results for the research undertaken by King's Twin Research Department, so that they can really see on the basis of the same experience and training you have, what different outcomes you could have as twins?
King's have chosen twins for this research project because it gives a unique aspect into an expedition. Not many twins go on an expedition together, Obviously we're doing old and new, and it's a great way of getting us onto the same platform. So scientifically, when they test us, we start off on exactly the same weight, same size, same body mass, etc. And then you can compare it to the end, rather than being totally, basically two different people.
This hasn't been done before, we didn't go on an old rowing boat or a new rowing boat. We were in exactly the same environment, doing exactly the same thing. So this time, it will certainly be interesting, and one that I'm looking forward to.